Today's Morning First Alert Weather Show is brought to you by Sam Bernstein Law.
Good Friday morning, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here live for our Friday First Alert morning live stream. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today as we take a look at our cold wind chills that have developed here across mid-Michigan, really starting as early as 5 a.m. but continue to be something you're going to feel as you get out and about for your Friday morning routine and most likely your Friday afternoon routine. As always, if you have any questions, head over to our Facebook chat at WNEM TV5 News. There I'll try to answer any of the questions that you may have about our wind chills and our weather here as we get over the next couple of days. So start off with those details. We've continued to show this off here over the last couple of days. That Arctic air moved in last night, starting to drop our temperatures after a cold front moved through the state. It did end up developing some snow chances across mid-Michigan, but the biggest factor for today, it continues to be that wind chills are going to be below 10 to 20 below zero. We've had a few areas getting close to 30 below zero, especially up towards Clare and Holton Lake. Those have been the areas that have been the coldest here for our Friday. This will be a Friday all-day ordeal. It does go into Saturday morning. We do see a little bit of relief into about late morning, early afternoon on Saturday. But for today, we continue to see wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Be prepared for frigid travel and outdoor activities, including if you have exposed skin, frostbite is possible in 30 minutes or less. So just a very cold afternoon and really rest of our Friday into Saturday. Now, I did want to quickly highlight that the National Weather Service is also keeping an eye on this. They do have two different weather alerts here across mid-Michigan. A cold weather advisory has been issued through the sort of Tri-Cities down to our southern counties and into the Thumb. We also have our extreme cold warning. That is for counties along 127 and then up to our northern counties, sort of north of US 10. That will get probably tweaked throughout the day. We'll see if they hold on to that extreme cold warning or eventually move it back to a cold weather advisory. If you watched yesterday, that was one of the updates that the National Weather Service did have yesterday afternoon, was upgrading the cold weather advisory out there to the west and to the north into an extreme cold warning. And we see why. That has been the cooler area across the region, but not by much. It's really been cold all across Michigan for our feels like temperatures. Right now we're seeing teens and 20s below zero. Areas like I've said, Holton Lake and Clare both at 24 below zero. Gladwin at 22, Standish at 20. Bay City has been jumping between 19, 20, and 21 below zero. You can see Midlands at 21, Saginaw 22, and Flint at 23 below zero. Then as you move east, Bad Axe at 23 below zero, Port Hope at 18, and Port Sanilac at 22 below zero. Just a few examples of where we're sitting when it comes to our feels like temperatures / wind chills. And in terms of our air temperatures, well, those are mostly sitting right at zero or just below zero. So that's really what's helping us get to those wind chill, and our consistent wind is also what's helping us out right now. Sustained wind is out of the north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. We're continuing to see wind gusts up to 30 to 35 miles per hour. So really that combination of temperatures and wind has continued to give us wind chills 20 below zero, 25 below zero, and even again this morning, close to 30 below zero. And I also want to highlight these strong winds will also continue to give us chances of blowing snow, especially in areas that did get some fresh snow last night from lake effect. Anywhere that has strong wind will have blowing snow concerns. I know that was a big issue yesterday, and I know I've had a few reports this morning of that being an issue, especially in areas like Shiawassee County. If you get open fields, you're going to have that chance of blowing snow if you did get some additional snow yesterday. But it is cold out there. You're going to want to bundle up. If you have to be outdoors, again, have plans to have multiple layers. If you can be indoors for periods of time, check up on your animals. If you have outdoor animals, just get out there and check on them, but be safe. Check on your neighbors. Just check on everyone. We want everyone to be safe as you get out and about for really the next 24 hours here as wind chills continue to stay pretty cold. Now, quickly, I do want to look at traffic across the region because there have been some issues. Like I've mentioned earlier, there was some snow last night from lake effect snow down to the south. Up to the north, though, you're looking relatively good through our northern counties down to the Bay region. Also is in good shape. It's just been down to the south, and we can continue to see that. Genesee County into Shiawassee County to the west there. Owasso on M21 between Owasso and Flint has had slowdowns pretty much all morning. And then south of Flint to Grand Blanc, all the way down through Genesee County on 23 and 75. It's been slowdowns. There's been multiple accidents on and off throughout the morning. So that is mainly because you did have snow in that area. You actually got sort of stuck under some lake effect banding that formed last night and has continued to form here into our morning. Now, luckily we are mostly dry right now, but we still continue to recover from those. So just be careful. If you're going to be traveling south of Flint on 75 or 23, even the back roads, I'd imagine not that much better. Please be prepared for slowdowns. Drive safe because it is going to be slick out there. There are going to be slowdowns as you get out and about. Now let's move to Lansing and Metro Detroit. It's actually in decently good shape. So if you do have travel plans to those areas, obviously maybe avoid going through Flint and southern Genesee County. Obviously, if you're going to Lansing, you can avoid that. It's going to be a little bit harder if you're going to Metro Detroit. But for the most part, once you get past Genesee County, things are actually pretty good there down to the south. I did want to quickly look at what we can expect here for the rest of the day into our afternoon. Air temperatures will start to drop once again past about 9 p.m. We're going to be sitting at 5 below zero around 9, then getting to almost 10 below zero through tonight. So that's why our wind chill continues to be a factor. Even though we are seeing our wind calm down late tonight into tomorrow, I think air temperatures actually continue to stay low enough where our wind chill will be a factor. So if you have any plans late tonight, maybe you're just hanging out with family or hanging out with friends, just be prepared getting outdoors. It is going to be cold still. We really don't see relief until about midday tomorrow. Now, we'll just quickly see if I can look up our wind chill once again before I take a quick break. I don't see anything in our chat, but like I've mentioned, feels like temperatures, teens, 20s below zero, 25 below zero in Holton Lake, 25 below in Clare. So those are the areas of sort of the coldest, but it's not by much. Saginaw, Flint, 22 and 23 degrees below zero. But I do have to take a quick break. Once I come back from that break, we will be looking at what we can expect here for the next couple of days, so don't go anywhere. Well, welcome back everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here live for the second half of our Friday morning First Alert Weather live stream. As we've been mentioning here over the last couple of days, First Alert weather days are in place for today into Saturday morning. We're seeing very cold wind chills even this morning, as low as 25 to 30 below zero. This will be an all-day ordeal here across mid-Michigan for today into tomorrow morning. So just make sure you have plans to be bundled up as you get out and about. When we look back at what our feels like temperatures are across the region, again, our coldest temperatures definitely coming out across that 127 corridor. Alma at 24 below, Clare at 24 below, Holton Lake at 26 below zero, but it's not that much warmer in other areas. 22 below zero in Gladwin, 20 below in Standish. You're getting to 19 in Bay City, which that's an area that's jumped back and forth on and off throughout much of the morning. Saginaw 22, Caro at 25 below zero. So just a very cold Friday, and that continues to be the trend. As we get to noon, there really isn't much change, and even through 4 p.m., we're back into the teens, but mid to upper teens below zero, 16, 17, 18, even a few areas at 20 below zero. So that's obviously something that's we're going to continue to see. Then we get through Friday evening, still teens and 20s below zero. You can see areas like Lapeer at 20 below, Gladwin at 20 below, and Clare at 20 below. And I think more locations could be into that zone. Now, as we get into Saturday, you're going to see there is some relief. I'm going to call it relief. It's still cold out there. You're still going to need to be bundled up. But by about mid-morning, I do think we start to recover. And then by midday, we can see here on our future feels like wind chills being back closer to zero. So definitely don't need that first alert weather day most likely through midday tomorrow. But we'll keep an eye on it, see how things change. Obviously, if winds start to increase, that could really give us back into that teens and 20 range. And speaking of our wind, let's look at the rest of the day. Here's your wind gust trend. Like I mentioned before, blowing snow continues to be something we've noticed and will continue to be something we can notice today as wind is out of the northwest at 20 to 25 miles per hour. It's also that northwest wind that is helping give us some lake effect snow, especially for Roscommon and Ogama counties. So as soon as that wind starts to come out of the east, or out of the west, I should say, it will start to lower that chance of lake effect snow. And then eventually we'll actually see more of an east wind tomorrow, and it's going to be a lot calmer than what we have today. Winds will be mostly at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So some good change for that wind that will help us with our temperatures. Now let's look at our hour by hour. I know Heather asked, do we have any snow for Sunday morning? We'll get to that here right now. Like I mentioned before, once our wind starts to shift out of the west, lake effect snow really starts to go away. We actually have some sunshine throughout our day, and that carries over into Saturday where you will see some sun. I will say in the morning, don't let it fool you. It's going to look nice outside like today. It's not going to feel nice. As you get into the rest of our Friday into our Saturday morning, it's going to be cold. By the afternoon, cloud cover does start to build itself, but we're still staying dry. It's into Sunday morning that we have that system down there sort of impacting the sort of heart of the United States from Louisiana through Mississippi, Tennessee, where they're seeing rain, snow, and freezing rain. It actually does bring us a snow chance. I do want to highlight or just mention that there's been some disagreement from forecasting models. There's really, the question is going to be for Sunday is how far north does this snow get? Because there's a few of our forecasting models that as far north as even Genesee, it struggles to get there. But like this on our hour by hour here, it's showing that snow getting as far north as the Bay. So we're going to need some more forecasting runs just to give a better idea of how far north this snow will set up. I think we'll have a better idea at least through tonight into tomorrow morning, but definitely showing a snow chance possibility for areas sort of southern Michigan. That's really from Bay City south and into the Thumb. So if you live in that area, I'd just be prepared. You could see some snow on Sunday. In terms of how long does it last, this is another question we may have to answer as we get here over the next couple of days. But by Sunday night, it does look like most of that snow chance does start to move away, and you just have lake effect snow along our shoreline cities to the eastern half of mid-Michigan there in Huron and Sanilac. So it feels like temperatures not a factor, but snow becomes a factor as we get into Sunday. Now, I know you asked about how much snow. Again, it's going to be a question about how far north that system does move. And I do want to quickly highlight, I would take what you see here with sort of a grain of salt, just because it is going to change. But right now, it does look like 1 to 4 inches is most likely where we're going to sit if that system does move itself a little bit farther north. I think, though, the biggest question will be the cutoff line as well, because you can see how quickly that snowfall totals cut off. It's really northern Genesee County, Mount Morris at 3. By the time you get to Saginaw, it's down to 1, and then by the time you get to Midland, it's a half an inch. Areas like Mount Pleasant, it's 0. So again, there's still some questions that need to be answered with this system. This system really hasn't decided what it wants to do. If you've been watching national weather over the last couple of days, it's shifted north, it's shifted south. Areas have been prepping for winter weather. There's going to be some areas that get rain. There will be some areas that they see mostly freezing rain. Luckily for us here in mid-Michigan, we're just on the far northern fringe of this system, and it looks to bring us a snow chance that by the time we get to Sunday could move to the south. We hope that happens, because I know there are some areas that have really been struggling with the snow here just sort of nonstop over the last really 2 weeks, I should say, especially on the western half of the state. But even areas into the thumb, you've had not sort of days on end of snow, and even road crews not getting out there quick enough where you get one snow, you get another snow, and it really starts to pile up. So hopefully this does want to move a little bit farther south and can give us some relief. But for the most part, we are just going to have to keep an eye out on this system. Your 7-day forecast does continue to show us into the single digits for Saturday, but like I've mentioned, wind will be on the calmer side, so that helps. Still have that first alert weather day, though, for Saturday morning. By the time we get to Sunday, we're back into the teens, and we're staying in the teens through a majority of next week. Just some lighter snow chances on and off for next week, but you will have some drier periods. I think Monday afternoon actually will be dry, then just isolated stuff through mid next week. But because I don't see any more questions in our chat, I want to thank everyone that has joined here today. As always, go check out our website at WNEM.com. There you can get more from the weather team, the TV5 First Alert Weather Team, on our weather tab. I have a weather article on there that does just have more updates here over the next couple of days. You can also scan this QR code right below me that will send you over to the App Store or the Google Play Store to download the TV5 First Alert Weather app. And there you can get more updates from the TV5 First Alert Weather Team. If you're looking for more coverage, at 2 p.m. this afternoon, TV5 First Alert meteorologist Diane Phillips will have her afternoon First Alert Weather live stream. Then later into the evening, TV5 Chief Meteorologist Chris Easlick will have his evening First Alert Weather live stream with just more updates on what we can expect for the cold temperatures, but even for more snow as we get more model runs throughout the day. So if you're someone that's looking out for maybe Sunday plans, check those streams out, because we'll have more updates on the snow chances that could develop for our Sunday. But with that, I don't have anything more. Hopefully everyone stays warm today and has a wonderful rest of your Friday and your weekend.